You know, sometimes you just gotta humor the interesting ideas. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more interesting content. So, we have Phonon Pulse Dragon to kind of start things off today. This is something that a few people have been discussing as a Halki Fibrax target for you to bring out of the extra deck. Now, this thing only gets its level changing effect on Synchro Summon, but it can modify from 1 to 3, which is actually pretty good. Now, obviously, it does Synchro Lock you, basically, but I mean, like, that's not exactly the worst. These are 12 to 20 cents a piece. I mean, you've had very few movements in between, but I mean, that's on your top end. You do see, obviously, you know, you have the Primal Origin rare, and you also have a rare all the way back from the 2015 tins. So it's not like this is something that is completely unheard of. It's just one of those, we're going to say, off of the wall ideas that you might want to think about. Now, we've also got great Magnus. So Genesis format has really been popping off with this guy. I've seen a lot of creative builds trying to make this card work. Now, I mean, we did get the new support for this a little while back, and I mean, people have always loved the ability to toggle into this. Now, your cheapest version of this actually isn't going to break the bank at all. Your cheapest Great Magnuses, you've not had a great number of sales on these, but I mean, you're averaging 50 to 75 cents a copy in between on whichever versions of these you're going to be walking away with. Now, obviously, secret rare versions are going to be your better version that players are going to want because this does end up getting a little bit expensive. I mean, if I'm forking out $7 a copy for these, you know, it better be really, really good. But once again, I mean, this has got in the same, exact same boat as the other version. You've got a couple versions moving in between, and I think you're going to continue to kind of see that going forward. Backup at Ignister. So after the success of this deck through YCSJ, players kind of, I guess it took YCSJ for people to start looking at this in the TCG. But the problem with that statement becomes, you know, as you're kind of flipping the coin looking at this from the other side of things, well, you know, is it performing in the TCG? Yes. Yes, it is. It's been doing pretty decently well. It's definitely a top 10 contender. But the problem is, you know, yeah, Lancia has disappeared from a lot of side decks. I mean, people will still have it show up, but the thing is, you've got people that were like, oh, with the loss of Splash Mage, nobody's going to play this garbage. I mean, they still pretty much are. I mean, look at these right now. Backup at Ignisters are $5 a piece for the lowest rarities. I mean, you bottomed out, well, I mean, a little while back, actually. Yeah, it looks like your sales data on this still pretty much rotating between $5 and $6 a copy. Your QCR versions, I mean, these are $29 to $30. So the question remains, you know, is backup at Ignister, you know, any malice piles? Are these still going to be, you know, resilient choices? And I honestly think the answer is, if you want to play the Cyverse piles, go for it. They're workable still. The Red Eyes Wyvern. So this card still remains, I would consider, one of the most interesting abnormalities. And we did look at Darkness Destroyer the other day. You guys remember Darkness Destroyer being one of those cards we were just like, what's going on with this? The Red Eyes Wyvern was one of those other cards that kind of came along within the market of this. And just take a look at this thing, man. The $40 mod plays. You head on up here, $50 light plays. Near mint for $58. Now, I mean, does this have more sales success? I mean, yeah. I mean, you've got older format tie-ins with this. I see we had some Italian versions move a while back. Let me see what this looks like. Ooh, actually looks pretty nice. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I mean, we also have the Ancient Prophecy, super rare, which, I mean, has a price of $7 to $8. It looks like these, $6, $7. That's not too terrible. A lot better than spending the absurd price point on the other version. And then, of course, Legendary Collection commons are $4. You've got Astro Pack Commons, which are 3s. Looks like Legendary Collection 1s are dollars. And then you got $2 versions, $2 versions here on Speed Duel GX. Honestly, in between, this has been pretty big. So interesting. Lulu Walleth. So we're going to continue to kind of keep an eye on some of the Despia stuff. We do have a YCS coming up this weekend. This is going to be something that you're going to be just a little curious about. You know, how's Lulu doing? $136. Meanwhile, Syak versions, these are $25. Meanwhile, you can get a 25th anniversary tin version for 15 to 16. Comparatively here, I'm willing to go pick up the tin version because I don't want to spend $24, $25 on this. That's ridiculous, man. Nobody should be pumping out the crazier price point for this just because it's just not worth it. Like, honestly, that's kind of stupid. And of course, Incredible Ecclesia. Well, first of all, this top one at $145. That's insane. I come down here, I see we have one with a photo. Really? Oh, really? You're putting that at $80? Look, guys, you can get the most destroyed in the world version of Incredible Ecclesia. Somebody's actually trying to sell that for $80. Well, that's a hilarious time. Meanwhile, 105, looks like you have 2 short listings. You go up to 130 on up to 145. So, interesting. Market's still doing pretty decently well on this. Megatin bundles. You know, these are still actually about 150 a bundle right now. Now, how often are these turning over? I mean, maybe not as much as you would suspect right now, but I mean, economy-wise, we're not in a good position right now, you know. A lot of these things are going to pressure down on the market just because of how things are going right now. This is a pretty normal thing, but still 150 is not bad for these. Borreload Furious, I gotta keep looking at this card. Because when your top end says $35 and you come down here, you're like, but they're $8. Yes, I know. It is incredibly hilarious to see the flipperoo here within the market. I mean, your updated sales, $9 coming in, still about 8 to 10. Yeah, and obviously you've had a lot of sales on these. I think a lot of people are very, very excited to see how this card is not only going to impact, you know, a burst protocol, but just kind of how it's going to impact here this weekend. Eidos, the Underworld Monarch. You know, Monarchs are also supposed to be one of those decks that I feel like players are going to try to gravitate towards this weekend, but $40 on up to $42. And then it just really, really, really hits the $45 mark. So I'm glad to see we have more listings available on this. This temporary Monarch hype that we've seen has been interesting. Branded Fusions. Well, good news. I mean, you're not $60 anymore. You've gotten some copies floating around the 42 mark, and so forth down below. And I do see, I mean, just in the last day or so, $50, 50, 42. I mean, these are turning over. This is not just a one-off thing. They are actually rotating. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Pot of Greeds from the Starlight Rare from the tins. Still decently a $6 card. You got to remember, if you're looking at playing Genesis format, this slots into Radiant Typhoon super well and actually makes the deck into a little bit more of a problem card. Your sales data on this, still pretty much the same. $6, $7 a copy all day long. Kaiba, man. Well, this is it's where you have the illusion, but then you come down here to something quite interesting. Is that 18 listings? Well, if you take this off, the legendary Kaiba Man himself has finally started to break numbers and starting to disappear on buyout status. I didn't think I would see Kaiba Man being one of those cards that the market was going to be hammering off, but 17 listings is it, folks. That's it. I mean, you got people that spent up to $25 on these, and they're going. I think the reality of the situation here is you might be seeing Kaiba Man disappearing off into the sunset here relatively shortly, as, you know, the market doesn't really know what to do with this card not having, you know, availability. This also proves that, you know, Blue Eyes players are really, really, really wanting to pick this up right now. So Interesting. Casual players are doing their thing on the market, but what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.